Good morning, class. Today, we are going to learn about nutrition in animal. This is the chapter number 2 of NCERT book. So today's topic is different way of taking food and digestion in humans. So in previous chapter, we have already discussed about nutrition in plants. So we discussed about autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. All green plants follow autotrophic nutrition, and non-green plants and the animal, including human being, follow the heterotrophic nutrition. So nutrition in animal is basically the part of heterotrophic nutrition, because animal cannot prepare, cannot synthesize their own food by themselves, including human beings. We, the human beings, cannot prepare their food by themselves. So we belong to the category of heterotrophs. So we will follow the heterotrophic nutrition. So nutrition in animal is the part of heterotrophic nutrition. So in nutrition in animal, we will discuss about digestion. We'll discuss what is digestion and the different animal, the mode of taking food by different animals. So let's start the chapter. So all the students must have their NCERT book along themselves. So page open number, open the page number 11 of your NCERT book, which is chapter number 2. So let's start. You have learned in chapter 1 that the plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but animal cannot, because plants are autotroph. They have chlorophyll. They can convert solar energy into carbohydrates, means chemical energy. But animal, including human being, are not having chlorophyll, so they cannot synthesize their food by themselves. They depend on others for their food, so they are heterotrophs. Animal get their food from plants, either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating animal that eat plants. So basically we depend on plants directly or indirectly. We can eat plants directly, or some of the animals or some of the human beings eat animals. So those animals we are eating or other animals are eating, they depend on plants. So we are depending on plants directly or indirectly. Some animals eat both plant and animal. Recall all the organisms, including human, require food for growth, repair, and functioning of the body. In previous chapter, we have also discussed about why do we need food. So we need food basically for the requirement of energy or repairing of the damaged cell, or for the growth, for the proper functioning of our body. That's why we need food. And from where we get food? Basically, we are getting food from the two main sources, and that sources are, one is plant, the another one is animals. Animal nutrition include nutrients, requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. Animal nutrition include nutrients, nutrient requirement. So what are the nutrients? We have discussed about many a time in previous class and also in this class, in the chapter number 1. So what are nutrients? Nutrients are the component of food. And what are those components? Those components are carbohydrates, fat, protein, vitamin, and minerals. And from where we can get these nutrients? We can easily obtain these nutrients from plant or from animals. So you have studied in class 6 that the food consists of many components, and those components are known as nutrients. So try to recall them and list them below. So you will fill that table from 1 to 6, as I have already announced the name of the nutrients. What are those nutrients? Carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, minerals. So these are the nutrients. The component of the food, such as carbohydrates, are complex substance. Yes, body cannot use directly these components. It will break these components into the simpler one. Like if we are taking the carbohydrate directly, so body cannot use these carbohydrates directly, because carbohydrates are complex substances, and complex substances cannot be absorbed by our body. They have to be divided into simpler and simpler substances. So body will break those complex substances into the simpler one, like carbohydrate, protein, fat. These are the complex substances. So body will break these substances into the simpler one. So this process of breaking of the complex component into the simpler one is known as digestion. This is known as digestion. So what is digestion? Digestion is nothing but breaking down of complex substance into simpler one is known as digestion. So this is the first important term or the first definition of this chapter. What is digestion? So you can underline this in your book. The breaking down of complex component of food into simpler substance is called a digestion. So breaking down of these complex component. And what are those complex component? Means nutrient. What we are taking? Carbohydrate. Carbohydrate we are getting from wheat, rice, or the chapati we are eating every day, or the potato we are eating day by day. So many substances have carbohydrates, and we get energy from the carbohydrates. So these are the like protein. Protein we obtain from many of the food sources like milk, like egg, cheese. So protein is also a complex substance which cannot be directly absorbed by body. So body broke these component into the simpler one, and this process is known as digestion. So you can draw the diagram. Complex substance means we are having a many dot like structure representing the complex substance, and these dot like structure are separated, means breakdown. This breaking down is known as digestion. Different way of taking food. So animal are taking food in so many different ways. Not each and every animal follow the same rule. They are taking food in different ways. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. So let's take an example of bees and hummingbirds suck the nectar of the plants. Bees means honeybees or hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. What is the nectar? The sweet smelling substance in the flower is called nectar. And the honeybees and the hummingbirds suck that nectar. Infant of the human and the baby of other animal fed on mother's milk. Infant of human means newly born baby. Newly born baby is known as infant. So how infant is taking their food? So infant and many other animals fed on mother's milk. They are taking their nutrients only from the mother's milk, because the newly born baby of human or any other animal cannot directly eat any type of food. It cannot drink water or anything. So it will take all their nutrients from the mother milk. Snake like python swallow the animals they prey upon. So another example is of python. Python is belonging to the category of snakes. So in which way it is taking their food? It will swallow their prey. Prey means the animal which is eaten by any other animals. Means food of the animal is known as the prey. So snake will swallow their prey. Some aquatic animal filter tiny food particle floating nearby and fed upon them. Some of the aquatic animals means fish, amoeba, and so many other animals, they will filter the tiny food particle floating nearby them. So do the activity 2.1. What is the type of food and the mode of the feeding of the following animals? Write down your observation in a given table. You may find the list of mode of feeding given below in a table helpful. So various mode of feeding, you will write this table, complete this table in your practice notebook, like snail, the kind of food it is eating, and the mode of feeding. The take help from the bracket, scraping, chewing. So these are the mode of feeding of the different animals. So you will fill this table in your practice notebook. Okay. So let's proceed to the new topic. Amazing fact. Also, blue box. Starfish fed on animal covered by hard shell of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pop out its stomach through its mouth and eat the soft animal inside the shell. So this is the method of taking food by starfish. The stomach of the starfish pop out means comes out from its mouth. So it is a unique type of feeding. Not all the animal do this all the time. Only starfish will do this. Their stomach comes out from their mouth. The stomach then goes back into the body and food is slowly digested. So this is the mode of taking food by starfish. So it is a unique, means amazing fact. So you have to remember this. So next topic is digestion in human. So in this topic, we'll discuss about ourselves. So how digestion is taking inside our body, means we are the human being, and how the process of digestion, means breaking down of the food, will occur in our body. So in this topic, we'll discuss about this. So before proceeding, we will learn some of the important terms. The first is alimentary canal. So what is alimentary canal? First of all, look at the figure 2.2. This is the diagram of human digestive system. Human digestive system. So look at the diagram carefully. It is starting from the mouth, and the mouth is known as the buccal cavity. And inside the mouth, there is a gland known as salivary gland, which will produce saliva. Means the watery substance inside our mouth is known as saliva, and that saliva is produced by a gland known as salivary gland. Then there is a pipe-like structure known as esophagus. The second name of esophagus is food pipe. The food pipe, as the name suggests, food pipe, the food is traveled down through this pipe-like structure into the stomach from the mouth. And that pipe-like structure is known as esophagus or food pipe. After that, there is a J type structure, means stomach. Stomach. Then stomach is attached to the coil-like structure. It is small intestine, and the small intestine is attached with large intestine, and the end point of the large intestine is the anus. So these part belongs to the alimentary canal. So these are the part of alimentary canal. So again, look carefully from where the alimentary canal starting. It is starting from buccal cavity and it is ending at the anus. So from buccal cavity to the anus, including all the parts, is known as alimentary canal. Basically, canal is a passage through which any liquid or anything is going on. Like if you are taking the example of water canal through which water is flowing, and it is the alimentary canal through which food will pass. The passage of food is known as alimentary canal. In simple way, we can say the passage of food is known as alimentary canal, and it is starting from buccal cavity and it will end at anus. So what are the different parts of the alimentary canal? Means first is buccal cavity, means inside of our mouth. The inside part of our mouth is known as buccal cavity. Then food pipe. The another name is esophagus. After that, there is stomach. Then there is a small intestine, large intestine, and anus. These are the part of alimentary canal. There are some glands which are associated with alimentary canal. So, which are those glands which are attached with alimentary canal, means associated with alimentary canal? The first is salivary gland. Inside our mouth, there is a gland which produces saliva, means the watery substance in our mouth. That gland is salivary gland. It will also help in digestion. We'll discuss about this. Then there is liver, the right side of our body. It is containing liver. Then there is pancreas. Below the stomach, there is an organ which is pancreas. So these three glands, these are attached with the alimentary canal, associated with the alimentary canal. The first is salivary gland, then liver and pancreas. So alimentary canal and their associative glands, they will form digestive system. Digestive system. So if you get the question, what is digestive system? So you will simply define this: alimentary canal and their associative glands. So alimentary canal basically having the buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus, and their associative glands. What are those associative glands? Salivary gland, liver, and pancreas. They will form digestive system. They will together form digestive system. So let's start the human digestive system. We take in food through mouth, digest and utilize it. The unused part of the food are defecated, means removal out from our body. The undigested part means undigested food is removed out from our body through anus. So have you ever wondered what happened to the food inside our body? This is a question. You can put this question. You can arise this question. What happened to the food inside our body? We are taking our food. The food passes through a continuous canal, which begin at the buccal cavity and end at the anus. This is known as alimentary canal. So this is the definition of alimentary canal. We have also discussed this topic in our bridge course. So remember that in the bridge course, we have discussed many of these topics like alimentary canal, human digestive system. So we have already discussed about this, and I'm again repeating that. The food passes through a continuous canal which begin at the buccal cavity and end at the anus. The canal can be divided into various compartments. Compartment means the different part of alimentary canal. First is buccal cavity. The second is food pipe or esophagus. Okay. Remember the pronunciation. It is esophagus. Okay. Esophagus. The third, stomach. Fourth one is small intestine. The fifth one is the large intestine ending in the rectum. And the sixth is the anus. The anus is the part of the body through which undigested food is removed out. And that process is known as defecation. Okay, defecation. Removal out of undigested food outside the body is defecation. Is it not a very long path? These parts together form alimentary canal or digestive tract. So the another name of alimentary canal is digestive tract. The food component gradually get digested as the food travels through the various compartments. Each and every compartment will play an important role in the digestion of food. When the food start traveling from mouth to the anus, each and every compartment, each and every part play an important role in the digestion of the food. Each and every part will take part in the digestion. They will break down the food into simpler and further simpler substances. The inner wall of the stomach and small intestine and the various glands associated with the canal, such as salivary gland, the liver, and the pancreas, secrete digestive juices. So inner wall of the stomach, small intestine, and the various glands. What are those various glands? Salivary gland, liver, and pancreas. They produce some digestive juices. These juices are known as enzymes, and these enzymes will break down the complex substance into the simpler one. Like saliva produces salivary amylase, liver produce bile juice, pancreas will produce the pancreatic juice. These are the digestive enzymes. These are known as enzymes. They will break down the complex substance like carbohydrate, protein, fat into the simpler substance. Like carbohydrate is will be broken down by the salivary amylase, which is produced by saliva into the simpler substance. And the simpler form of the carbohydrate is glucose or the simpler sugar. So we are not obtaining the glucose directly from the plants. We will obtain carbohydrates. The food which are eating containing carbohydrate, it will further broken down into the simpler substance known as glucose. And carbohydrate is broken down with the help of salivary amylase, which is produced from salivary glands. In the same way, liver will produce some juices or some digestive juices. Pancreas will also produce some digestive juices. The inner wall of the small intestine, the inner part of the stomach, they all produces some digestive juices, which will break down the complex substance into the simpler one. So look at the figure 2.2, human digestive system again. And this diagram you have to draw in your practice notebook 2 times, at least 2 times. And after that, you will draw this diagram in your fair notebook. So before drawing this diagram in fair notebook, you have to draw at least 2 or 3 times in practice notebook. The digestive juices convert complex substance of the food into simpler one. The digestive tract and the associative glands together constitute the digestive system. So again, digestive system, it is also an important term. You can write this separately. So what is the definition? The digestive tract means the alimentary canal. You can also write alimentary canal and the associative glands. What are those associative glands? Salivary glands, liver, pancreas. Okay, the salivary glands, liver, pancreas, and alimentary canals. they will together constitute digestive system. So digestive system, as the name suggests, system, it is having many parts. And what are those parts? Those parts are alimentary canal, each and every part of the alimentary canal, buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, anus, and the associative glands. What are those associative glands? Salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. They will together make digestive system, constitute digestive system. Now let us know what happened to the food in different part of digestive tract. So what will happen to the food in a different part of the digestive tract? We will discuss about this. So first part is the mouth and buccal cavity. Means mouth, the inner part is known as the buccal cavity. So what will happen? Let's start. Food is taken into the body through the mouth. So all the animals, most of the animals, including human being, basically intake their food through mouth. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. 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 So digestion is also having some steps. Okay? Some step. So the first step is taking in food into the body, and that is known as ingestion. So you can underline this. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. It is not injection, it is ingestion. Ingestion. So we chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. Mechanically means with the help of our teeth, we are chewing the food and the food is breaking down into a paste like substance. We are taking a hard food and chewing with the help of teeth, and the saliva will also mix with the food we are chewing, and the saliva make that hard food into a paste like substance. So each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gums. Our teeth vary in appearance and perform different functions. In junior classes, 4th or 5th or 6th standard, you have learned the teeth, how many type of teeth we are having, what are their function. Okay, so recall those topic. We are having 4 type of teeth: molar, premolar, canine, and incisor. So molar and premolar, what are their function? Molar and premolar teeth basically play an important role in grinding the food. Canine are the pointed teeth they are using to tear the food. Okay. With the help of canine teeth, we can tear the food. With the help of molar and premolar, we can grind the food. And what are the function of incisor? Means the front teeth in our mouth are known as incisor. Incisor teeth are basically using for biting and cutting. For biting and cutting the food, we will take the help of incisor. For tearing the food, we will use canine. For grinding or crushing, we will use molar and premolar. These are the type of teeth we are having. So our teeth vary in appearance and perform different function. Accordingly, they are given different names. Look at the figure 2.3. You will also draw this figure in your practice notebook. So activity 2.2. Let us perform an activity 2.2. Wash your hand, look into the mirror and count your teeth. Use your index finger and feel the teeth. How many kind of teeth would you find? Take a piece of an apple or bread and eat it. Which teeth do you use for biting and cutting? So for biting and cutting, basically the front teeth we are using. That front teeth are known as incisor, biting and cutting. Which ones for piercing and tearing? Piercing, making hole into a substance is known as piercing or tearing. For piercing and tearing, we will use canine. Also find out the one that are used for chewing and grinding. For chewing and grinding, we will use premolar and the molar. So these are the four kind of teeth and their function. So you can complete the table 2.2, cutting and biting, lower jaw, upper jaw, number of teeth, count the teeth and fill the table, and the total number of the teeth. So you have to complete this table in your practice notebook and count your teeth. For piercing and tearing, we will use canine. For chewing and grinding, we will use molar and premolar. So this is a simple activity. You can perform this activity at home. So milk teeth and permanent teeth. Milk teeth and permanent teeth. Look into the blue box, milk teeth and permanent teeth. Do you remember about falling of your teeth some year ago? The first set of the teeth grow during infancy and they fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. The first set of the teeth grow during infancy, means the teeth which are coming to a newly born baby during the period of 2 to 6 years, that are known as milk teeth. Milk teeth. They will fall during the age of 6 to 8. These are termed as milk teeth. The second set that replace them are known as permanent teeth. The teeth which appear or comes out after falling the milk teeth are known as permanent teeth. The permanent teeth may last throughout life or fall off during old age or due to some dental disease. So our mouth has a salivary glands. Our mouth has salivary glands which secretes saliva. So saliva is produced by a gland which is located inside our mouth, and that gland is known as salivary gland, and it secretes saliva. Do you know the action of saliva on food? What is the role of saliva? What is the action? What is the function of saliva on food? Let us find out. Take two test tube, label A and B. In the test tube A, put one discuss in the next lecture. So let's recall what we have studied till now. So in today's topic, we have discussed about digestion. So digestion is the breaking down of the complex substance into the simpler one. Then we have discussed about the way of taking food by different animals. Some of the animal chewing, some of the animals swallow the food, some of the animal suck the nectar from the plants. So different animals having different mode of feeding. Then we have discussed about the digestion in human. The first we have discussed alimentary canal. The different part of alimentary canal are buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. And the associative glands, what are the associative glands? Associative glands are salivary glands, then liver, then pancreas. Alimentary canal and the associative glands together constitutes digestive system. So we have also discussed the mouth and the buccal cavity. And what is ingestion? Taking food into the body is known as ingestion. Then the different type of food, different type of teeth. Sorry, different type of teeth. There are 4 type of teeth: molar, premolar, used for grinding; canine, used for piercing and tearing; incisor, they are used for biting and cutting. So these are the topic which we have discussed today. So you have to read page number 12, 13 and 14, and you will draw the diagram 2.3, 2.2 in your practice notebook. Have a nice day. Akash sir. Akash sir.